What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I have here Shaquille Courtney and Christy Grady. We're going to talk a little Titanfall because it's pretty cool. It's pretty badass.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know if you never played it.
I've been watching you guys play a little bit.
That's how you get in the game.
And when I say you guys, I mean Shaq, because Shaq wouldn't let Chris play.
I saw Chris play when I got home.
Nigga, shut up. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
I saw Chris play when he got home, and yeah, I was kind of glad.
Alright, so we're just going to start off and pretend like no one knows what Titanfall is. So what is Titanfall?
It's Call of Duty plus Gundams. The guy that actually originally made Call of Duty works for Respawn. And Respawn got picked up by the same people that let him go, which was EA. So it's a really great game. It has a Call of Duty feel, and then it kills camping by you getting into mechs. So if you want to sit in the corner, you can do that all day.
Yeah.
But if I have a big gun and a big mech, you're not going to have a lot of fun.
So you just get rewarded for being in the action.
Yes.
Regardless of if you do good or not, you get your Titan. You get it either way, but if the better you do, the faster you get it. The higher priority you are to get your Titan first.
So is it like it's like a point streak, like Call of Duty was?
Sorta, but you don't get it just for killing other pilots.
Right.
You get it for killing grunts as well.
Yeah, they added AI on both sides, on your team and the opposite team. There's grunts, there's specters, there's just different computer-controlled enemies. They suck, but they're there to help you get points faster, so you can work toward getting your Titan that much quicker.
The main difference and the reason I love it more than Call of Duty is because Call of Duty seems just like a firefight, 6-on-6.
Yeah.
Do what you have to do to win the game. This is more of a battle. So say I go and I'm just getting beat up, just raped by this pilot. I can go around and kill grunts for a second, feel a little bit better, and work myself back up to find this guy. Oh, I killed a platoon of 5 guys. Then come back and kill this guy.
So these grunts are AI controlled?
These grunts are AI controlled.
And they just run around like a normal player with like a bot?
Well, they stay in groups. Like
Yeah.
you'll find 3 to 4 grunts in one group, and then they're just all spread out all over the map. Whereas opposed to obviously the player-controlled pilot, you can go wherever you want.
Have you ever played Dynasty Warriors?
Yes.
It's like Dynasty Warriors. They're little platoons. They stick
So
together.
they just go down really easily.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
But if they start shooting at you, I mean, their indicators are like, hey, we have a pilot over here.
Yeah, if one starts shooting at you, all 4 of them start shooting at you.
They're weak, but they're pretty intelligent. To be okay, they're even if you go into a building, say like you're fighting, and I'm fighting this guy, and he's laying suppressive fire. I go in a building, and my squad is fighting their squad. They're in there doing their own special stuff, like they're having firefights or they're beating the crap out of each other. And if you save them, they're like, oh, hey, thanks. So I mean, that's a really nice chime into the game to the point where they're not just there; they're aware that you're there with them, and that you can save their lives, and they'll be grateful and shit like that.
Is there ever a time where like you run into a group of grunts and you're just not going to make it out of this alive? Or are they pretty much just fodder all the time?
No, there are times, like I said, if one focuses on you, all of them will focus their fire on you. Like if you catch one of their attention, all of a sudden 3 more turn around and look at you.
And then that's going to play on you not knowing which one to focus on.
Exactly.
Just freaking out.
Yeah, you can't just focus on one at a time. You have to kind of focus your fire as a group instead of just on one person, because now you have, even though they're AI, you still have 4 of them shooting at you at the same time.
So its main dynamic is that you can jump between a foot soldier and a pilot in a mech. Those are the 2 like fighting grounds. The game switches dynamics pretty much. Is that the draw of this?
No, because I never feel helpless when I'm fighting a guy in a mech. I have to change up my strategy a little bit,
right.
But I'm not like, oh crap, he's in a mech. Let me just go to the other side of the map and wait it out. All I gotta do is switch up my tactics, and it's pretty much, yeah, if he sees me, I'm gonna die. Or like if he can pinpoint me out and play it the right way, he can kill me. But that goes the same for me. So it's equal out. It's not like, oh, he's in a Titan, he's overpowered now, I gotta get out of his way.
Okay.
It's okay, stop, pay attention, and work a little bit slower.
So it's basically checks and balances, so you don't ever feel like any one position has more power over the other one.
Yeah, even as a Titan, kind of going the opposite side of that. As a Titan, you're not the all powerful.
Right.
It doesn't just mean you have an upper hand, but that doesn't mean you can just run into the middle of a battle and think you're invincible and not die. Because there's many strategies and different ways to take down a Titan. Sometimes you can get your Titan, you only last like 10 to 15 seconds because the other team focuses so well on it.
Yeah. I've seen when I was watching some of the footage where, as a Titan, your health will just bleed straight.
You get a shield when it drops. Mm-hmm. Oh, and you can drop it on other Titans. Like if you time it right, and the Titan's walking by,
you can drop your Titan.
You can drop it, and it'll destroy it.
Oh, that's cool.
And they notice that because they give you points for that. It's like, oh, okay, you dropped the Titan on another Titan. You're kind of badass. Here's some points.
Okay, that's cool. So is it? I don't know, because it's still a beta. So are there still like challenges? Is it still Call of Duty-esque as far as like?
Yeah, you still get challenges.
Yeah, I just think that anyone that's played Call of Duty, like you said, it's the same.
It's gonna have the same feel to it.
The two guys that got kicked out of Infinity Ward that started Respawn Entertainment, like anyone that's played Call of Duty can instantly pick up a controller without going through the training or anything, and play Titanfall from the get go. The only real training aspect of it is learning how to play your Titan.
Okay.
And they have a training mode for that. So
for just general game.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, you start out playing the training.
Not only that, but they added because it's kind of futuristic. They added different levels of movement. Like you can double jump, wall run. You have like a jetpack.
I saw that there's like a little bit of parkour aspects.
That really changed. That really
that's
changed.
It seems like the mech is going to be obviously more powerful, a little bit slower, and then the foot soldier is going to have a lot more maneuverability.
Yeah, mobility you got to give it to the pilots, but obviously power wise you got to give it to the Titans. But that's why the pilots sometimes have the advantage over the Titans because of their maneuverability and. It's not just jumping through windows and going up flights of stairs. Like you can get on top of buildings, skyscrapers, all that kind of stuff. You can jump through windows, jump wall run, and jump up to the top of a building, and then you have a good vantage point all over to be able to kind of plan out your next move.
Yeah, it's not like they bring up Call of Duty again, but when you're playing Call of Duty, there's only so many ways.
I mean, that's what you're going to focus on. That's like the template. It's going to be Call of Duty always.
When you're playing Call of Duty, you're usually focusing. I usually rush. I'm a big rusher.
Yeah.
So I usually just, get to this spot first.
Shotgun with sprint, marathon it.
That's fun. Hearing them curse you out is way fun. But this, I see myself going different places. Like, okay, I'm going to just go up and then work my way down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's not just, flat, not linear, like left or right.
So
now it's up, down, left or right.
They put a good focus on
it has a whole nother platform.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
For just different play.
So is there ever a point where it feels like it's hard to get from A to B, like from level 1 to 2, or is it they make it a point to always be a fluid transition?
Well, you kind of have to. I mean, you can't. You only have so much mobility up and down a building. You have to actually scope out the route you're going to take.
So it's like in the game, like you get a read on what you can and can't.
Yeah, pretty much. Because if you just tackle it head on, you're probably gonna fail and just fall all the way down to the ground.
There will be times that you look like a retard.
Yeah,
trying to get up a building. And then there's one time you're just bam, bam, bam. You're like, yep, I got it. And then you get a kill, and you're just like, this game's amazing. There's that one time where you're just on the wall.
Yeah, and it just leaves you open. Then some sniper's like, what this motherfucker doing? This bitch right here.
All right, so if you had, I think I know the answer for Shaq on this one, but if you had to name one thing about this game that drew you to it, what would it be? I'm gonna let Shaq go because I think I know what his answer is.
You go first.
I would really have to say it's a lot faster paced. Like you have to think on your feet.
The fluidity.
Yeah, you have to think on your feet a lot more. Because Call of Duty.
Call of Duty's already fast though.
Well, no, I mean, but campers, all that, all that shit.
So they basically just keep everything moving.
Exactly.
Always.
Like I don't think you can really camp in Titanfall because, like I said, mobility. Someone can jump up the building that you're on or whatever, come up behind you, and next thing you know, you're dead. Okay. So I think it just kind of keeps you thinking on your feet. You have to really check your back at all times.
It feels like it's never boring. There's not really a slow moment.
Exactly. Just because you can pretty much go anywhere and try and get anywhere on the map that really no place is safe.
Okay. What about you?
Same as him. I'm going to use a different word. Momentum.
Okay.
As long as you get your momentum, you keep it up and just keep going. You saw me play. I would go 12-0, 18-0. It's all that momentum that builds up. And it's like, all right, I get this, I get that. Oh, my Titan's ready. Give me 2 seconds. I'll drop my Titan, and I can keep going because the Titan has an AI, which is amazing. You can put the you can put the guard mode, and you can put the follow mode. So you can sit there and guard the point for you, which is awesome for objective-based games.
Yeah. Right.
Or you can set him to follow you, and he'll kill people like behind you, kind of like the dog in Halo.
Yeah.
But it's a lot bigger, and people aren't really just shooting the crap out of the dog.
Okay.
Yeah, and
But-
And I know you meant Call of Duty.
Halo.
The-
There's dogs in Halo.
the AI of the Titan, if you have it in follow mode, it's not stupid. Like
Really?
it
I feel like
will.
they would have to dumb it down to even it up.
I mean,
they're a
they-
pilot and then also a
They
Titan.
do dumb it down to a certain extent, but it's not like as dumb as like the other AI in the game, like the grunts and the specters and all that. Like it fucks shit up. If you have it on follow mode, it will kill people.
Especially if it's on. It sucks against other Titans,
Right.
but it's really good for shooting the crap out of pilots.
For personnel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I'll walk around just auto Titan kill. Auto Titan kill.
exactly.
Killed seconds.
Like,
I was like, how did you kill them?
even if you're dead and it's not one of those things. If you die, your auto Titan dies like immediately just because you did. It'll keep going. It'll go until its life bar is empty. You can be dead and you can just sit there and watch your auto Titan just fucking destroy for you. For like a minute, and then you come back and you rejoin it or whatever.
Right.
But
I have a question for you. What was your favorite weapon of the game? Well, of the beta.
I kind of like the SMG, small, mobile, and when it comes to jumping across building to building, you don't have to really aim with it. It's just kind of one of those like go and spray things. Kind of goes with the fluidity of you playing it. You can just kind of go and like it does what you need to do.
Like a quick assault. So
Yeah,
you jump
exactly.
like, hey, I'm here. Da 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 da. And you're gone.
Yeah, as opposed to people that use the snipers, you got to stop, you got to like plant yourself, and you got to get a good vantage point to use it. I mean, yeah, SMG may not be as accurate in some points, and the damage might not be as high, but you definitely be able to get more fire on an enemy before he gets a chance, to fire back. Like those kind of.
What was your least favorite?
Kind of the smart pistol. I mean, it's a smart weapon to put in, but it's like for bitches.
Okay. The smart pistol, do you know what that is?
I don't. I was going to ask about loadouts and stuff in a second.
Okay. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Smart pistol is basically a pistol that auto locks.
And not like you can't press left trigger and it auto target someone.
Uh-huh.
If you sit there and you focus your aim on somebody, it'll spray like 5 bullets no matter, even if it'll curve the bullets, it'll do all kinds of shit.
Oh, that
the
sounds
bullets
so
the
stupid.
bullets will curve around 4 or 5 bullets on one person and kill them. It's just like it's
Do you
like
feel like, I don't mean to cut you off,
No,
but
no.
I gotta keep it moving a little bit. Do you feel like, as far as you were talking about momentum, do you feel like if you start a game and you're having a bad game right off the bat, do you feel like you can change that? Or do you feel like, for me, if I'm having a bad game in Call of Duty, the entire game is going to suck?
Yeah. You can always change the momentum. You just have to figure out the rhythm of the other team.
Okay.
Like how they're doing, what they're doing,
That's
how they're
just another
setting
form
up.
of syncing balance.
And
stuff.
then
Yes.
again, it kind of goes back to everybody gets their Titan regardless. That could be your savior because even if you're the shittiest person on your team, you're 0-10,
Yeah.
you're going to get your Titan regardless. That might be the thing that picks you back up and gets you back into the groove of the game,
Okay.
regardless of getting it or not.
So you're saying is based on time originally, and then depending on how you do without it,
It cuts the time
you
down.
better, it cuts your time down.
Exactly.
How many Titans in theater can you have at a time
In theater?
simultaneously
What do you mean?
in combat?
Every single person on each team can be a Titan at the same time, and the game does not slow down a bit.
Always.
Yeah, like
Wow.
there will be times where
That's really cool.
there's like 6 Titans on the field at one time, but they're obviously getting like blown up and shit like that.
And you're not seeing any connection issues, no frame issues, nothing like that.
Nothing, man.
No.
That's
It was
awesome.
pretty fluid. I liked it.
That's really cool.
They had more people. Like it was supposed to be bigger matches,
Mhm.
but they cut the volume of people down.
I think
So
the beta was only 6-on-6.
It was
So
only 6 on 6.
How many maps were you guys given in the beta?
2.
Were they both good? One good, one bad?
Both were good.
I like them both.
Yeah.
Yeah, they one of them was kind of like set in more like a city.
Mm-hmm. I think
So
I saw that one.
buildings everywhere. You kind of get a feel for like the wall running and jumping and
Yeah.
double jumping and all that. The one's a little bit more open. There was buildings you can get on top of, so you can kind of get a feel for like the getting a vantage point and
Okay.
kind of scoping out the area and that kind of thing. But I think that the city one, because of all the buildings, is more faster paced because you're constantly jumping
have
and
more
running
dimensions
between
to work
things.
with.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you ever fall off the map in the?
I never did.
I did on accident.
That's scary.
Thrusted back and was like, "Oh, you left the map. Please return to the map." I was like, "I'm falling vertically downward. I'm gonna return to the map." And it gives you a little countdown, so even if by God's way you get back onto the map, you
I don't
won't be
think I
insecure.
did.
You won't be killed by the Guardians.
I didn't think it would be possible at that point, but I never fell off the map.
So back to my second question, what drew you to it? Did the fact that it was X, Infinity Ward, or Respawn, or whoever it may be, did that have anything to do with you being drawn to it originally?
I actually didn't know that Respawn did it until I actually played the beta for the first time, and then
Really?
of course their logo came on. Yeah, I might
Just
be
like, oh shit. Okay.
I might be stupid for saying that, but honestly I was like, oh shit, Respawn did this, and I had no idea. Because honestly, up until the beta came out, I didn't really have any interest in it.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Gundams.
I knew that going in before.
I was like, I like Gundams. And I was like, wait, Call of Duty plus Gundams?
100%. So for you, Respawn it didn't really matter that it was Respawn, even given your extensive history. With
I do have to say, whenever I found out it was Respawn, it gave me like a little bit.
You were turned on a little bit.
It kind of gave me a little bit more hope for it. I was like, you know what, this can't be bad just because what these guys know.
They know, yeah, they just know.
Yeah, they know how to do this. So if it's done by Respawn, it can't be worse than a Call of Duty I played before.
Yeah.
Okay, so we might get a little redundant here. I might for an answer if you can come up with one. What does Titanfall do well? You mentioned fluidity and momentum. What else would you say that Titanfall does well?
I went first last time. You go first this time.
The interaction between games. I'm sorry, the interaction during games.
During games.
The overall feel of it. No, it's fluid, but overall it feels.
You feel free.
I feel like, oh, there's a building over there. That's a good vantage point. Let me just go over there. In any other game, you're like, nope, there's a wall, there's a ceiling.
Let me see what I can trick and
There's no ceiling in Titanfall.
Yeah.
To the point of where I can jump out of my Titan and it'll shoot me 50 feet into the air. And I'm just like, oh, this is tight. You get a vantage point of something else. It feels like I'm free to do wherever I want.
Okay. So
wherever I want, wherever I need to get the mission done or to get the game type done, I can go do it. There's no...
It's just open without feeling like it's too loose.
Yes.
What about you?
Crazy.
I guess it kind of has to do with a couple little things that they tweaked in the combat. Like they added like a cloaking device for each pilot.
Okay.
And then another thing that one of my favorite things is they added like a burn card deck where you.
I was going to ask you about that.
If you do like if you complete say like a certain challenge within a game, you get a burn card, and each cards do different things for you. Like I think those burn cards, because there's like a wide variety of them. They'll replace your primary weapon with something stronger or your sidearm with something stronger. They'll cut down the Titan loadout time, but there's just like, it just adds a different level of strategy to it.
Okay, so it's a different loadout. Let's just go ahead and go into that because I saw that between games you can choose these cards, and so you were saying that each card has a different effect on you in gameplay.
Yeah, until you die. Like say if you die once and you choose to use a burn card, say to replace your primary weapon with like a stronger like LMG or whatever.
And this choice happens before the game starts?
No. It happens throughout the game as well. You get 3 cards to choose throughout the match.
Okay.
You can start off with one if you'd like, but as you die throughout the match, you can use your other ones as well.
So that's like you just pause and then just select a card and you're good to go.
Select one of the 3 cards that you picked before the game.
That you pocketed.
That you pocketed, right?
Yeah, you can't go in the middle of the match and refill your burn cards as the match goes on. You have 3 that
you have a deck before you start the game.
You have a deck before you start.
You choose 3.
Yeah, and then you burn them throughout the match.
Okay.
Hard with the cards.
That works for me. That sounds like an interesting way to change it. So you won't have like a traditional loadout like we're all used to.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everybody can have the same pilot, everybody can have the same weapons and everything, but as long as you have your burn cards, like it still gets changed around.
Like you're saying, that is a big momentum changer. So say this guy killed me in a very crucial spot. We need to get this. We need to take over this spot in order to flank the enemy team. There's a card called Rematch. You can play that card and it spawns you exactly where you died. So if the dude's not paying attention, just go behind him after you rematch and snap his neck.
I love the execution.
Now you guys have that spot.
So you have to carry out an objective for that card to work.
Yep.
Well, to earn them in the first place, you do like you get different cards certain ways.
So it's basically you're doing challenges to unlock these cards, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
I never noticed that. I just was like, oh, there's a surplus of cards here.
No, as you do certain things, and you'll get certain cards. You can't just like play normally and get every single card. If you do certain things, then you get different cards. That's why I have like 10 of the fucking primary weapon cards, because that's all I use is my primary weapon.
So they're all based on objectives. So then, do you find that it plays to the trading card game trope of there being like a common set card, a really rare card based on
Possibly,
how hard
you know,
a
because,
challenge is,
yeah,
how
because
easy it is.
there could be one thing that, you know, like he said, that he thought that they came with natural progression, but if I did something that he didn't do and I have a card that he doesn't have, you know, I mean, you know, there could be a card that not a lot of people have at the same, you know, but then again, like the more common ones, like the weapon cards and like the Titan cards, and you know.
So these are called burn cards. I'm assuming that after you use them,
They're done.
they don't exist anymore for you.
Yeah.
But you can have a lot of the same.
Until you re-earn that card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that why it took you so long to get to level 14?
Maybe so.
Just learning all that stuff.
Look that.
Okay, now what would you say if you had to? It sounds like you guys are going to have a little bit of trouble with this one. What would you say that Titanfall does poorly?
They could change up matchmaking. So say I go into a team and we win. Yeah, it's going to be fun for us because we're going to stay on the same team. There's not like a mix and match.
Split.
Yeah, it's not a split.
So it's not like how Call of Duty highest score would be on Team A, and then second highest would be on Team
Yeah,
B.
basically.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, no, like on, you know, kind of going back to Call of Duty. If one team has if they're not in a clan, it's just random players. They all do really well. It splits them up the next game. Titanfall, like.
It'll keep them all together.
Like if your group of 6 is like the best 6 you've ever played with, it's gonna keep it all together. It doesn't split you up.
So you're just like, get the fuck out of that lobby. You're just gonna
Yeah.
have a horrible time.
So yeah, it's bittersweet. If you're on
Yeah,
that team, you probably don't want to leave.
Right.
But
Yeah, but
not,
and then if you're on a losing team and you know say 2 matches later, you're like fuck this, these guys suck. You know,
Yeah.
you like because it just doesn't change. But then again, it is a beta.
Right.
They
Luckily,
could-
I'm
they
pretty
could-
sure matchmaking settings
Yeah, I
will
would
change pretty
imagine so.
easily. What about mechanics? What about game-wise? Is there anything that you think that it could do in-game?
The melee, because they have just regular melee or execution. Executions, you come up to someone, you snap their neck,
Pull their neck around.
180
circle.
degrees.
Yep. I saw that.
That is pretty rewarding, but the melee itself, there's no weapon. You can't hit them with the butt of your gun or
It's
anything.
like a
You just
Dead
kick 'em.
Island kick.
Yeah, you just kick them, and then it's just like
It's
I,
like
felt,
it's
I
not
just
even a
I felt
knife.
it was so broken at times. Like in Black Ops 2, like I could compare the melee to that.
to the point where you're knifing people and it's just hitting the clock.
Yeah, you know, and then not even that, you know, just because I think that I understand it because you're using a limb of your body, but when you kick, it does slow you down.
Right.
But if
I mean, it's
you
gonna
and
have to.
another guy are in a kicking war, like you might as well just start shooting or something.
Right. It's just not going to be worth it.
Yeah.
It's not even worth having its own button, pretty much.
What, the kick?
The kick. That's what I'm picking up from you guys.
I mean, yeah, I mean, no, it's good to kick a guy in the face every now and then, but just sometimes you're just like, man, it's fucking stupid.
For a great game, that's what we can find wrong with it. Is the kicking.
Is the kicking.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would at least expect, to put the butt of your rifle into their face or something. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
at least Halo, you use your,
I think it
your
would be
gun for
better
melee.
if they did add different melee types. I mean, just change it up, but just because it's just all kicking, like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's harder to take seriously because of that.
Yeah. And again, you told me to find something wrong with it, so I did.
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
I mean, that works. I was predicting this, or anticipating you guys would have a hard time answering that one. And my next question is, I heard recently that it has no single player, the final game will have no single player campaign or anything. Is that true, as far as what you've heard?
That's the first I've heard of that, because, I mean, I understood I know that the game is heavily set on multiplayer, but I thought that they were going to at least have somewhat of it, like Call of Duty.
Right.
You know, I
haven't even played Ghost multiplayer. I just skipped and hopped into multiplayer. I'm not about to play against your party.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I hate to keep referencing Call of Duty, but Call of Duty has at least somewhat of a campaign. Yeah, it's not obviously not as good as a multiplayer because they put all their focus on multiplayer.
Right.
But I think that, that campaign is a little bit something that they should put in there anyway.
A lot of...
I feel... I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, so
I'll
I feel Titanfall has the potential to have a really good single player
I
campaign.
feel like it would too also, but I know a lot of people, including myself, who at this point with Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, they're calling it Battlefield 3.5, all these Call of Duties coming out, a lot of people are saying at least A, give us 2 versions of the game with including campaign without it, or B, cut campaign, take like $20 off the price tag, and just do multiplayer because that's what keeps people playing.
Yeah.
So I would be down for that.
Shut the fuck up, see?
What the hell is that? Am I saying
And it did it.
Oh,
No.
It does that.
That's awesome.
Okay. Alright, so let's just say that it doesn't have a single player. let's operate under that assumption. Would you say that Titanfall has any longevity being multiplayer only? Can you see yourself playing the game in a year?
Yes. Really, like
More than yes.
More than yes?
More than yes.
I mean, yeah, if it's just multiplayer, that'll kind of suck. But I mean, how many games release DLC that's just multiplayer only? You know, maps, different kind of multiplayer types. You know, there's just so much that they could do with it. Like they just have so much room to expand that even if it's just multiplayer, they can still improve upon it.
Okay.
Titanfall, I'll give it this. Titanfall is one of the only games that has been out. The Titanfall beta, like I went in watching it, and I looked at all the maps.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the maps, looking at the scenery, I actually want to play the story mode. It makes me, I was like, I want to see how people got like this. The subtle hits on the cards, like it has like a little comment, like a note section on the cards.
Yeah.
And it says it's quotes from people. I'm like, oh, those people, I want to see how they interact and how they make, I don't know what word I want to use, the significance of the people for the cards. Like on a map that's called Angel City in the beta, if you go up on the billboard, there's this funny looking guy, and he has like a reward out for him. It's like 50 grand.
You want to know
has, like,
why?
a stupid face. It's
Yeah.
like 50 grand, and they have like more most wanted people and stuff like that. So
That's cool.
it's like I said earlier, the Call of Duty. I skipped the whole campaign.
I mean,
This one I actually
haven't even played the Black Ops 2
the campaign.
Yeah. And I haven't even bought Ghosts.
I did it
so
for the achievements. Okay.
It hasn't interested me since Warfare 2, and then after that I was done. Okay. So my last question is, what changes, if any, would you like to see in the full release? We talked about matchmaking. We talked about kicking. Is there anything that you would like to see added in or taken away from the full final release?
Well, there's no single player, but I don't really know. I mean, obviously they have a lot.
It feels like the full package already, even though
kind of. You know, I mean, obviously we're gonna have all the maps. We're gonna have more multiplayer game modes.
More Titans.
Different
There's going to
Titans.
be different types.
so there's
of
not
Titans.
just a vanilla Titan.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
one you get to play in the beta is called the Atlas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, each
I was not aware that there's more than one type of
Yeah.
Titan. Let's go. What do you guys know about any of that?
You get to pick both loadouts. So you get to pick a pilot loadout. You get to pick your Titan loadout. And
Okay.
you can pick what type of gun is on the Titan, and then you can pick what type of Titan, like what special abilities, like the little perks.
So that's all in a traditional loadout.
yeah,
format.
each Titan type has its own kind of like perk.
Okay, and then you would choose your burner cards, and then you go into the game.
No, well, you get to choose which one you want. So, say the game starts, you get to pick out your loadout for your
Right.
pilot, then you pick out the loadout for your Titan.
Titan.
Yeah, and then that you can change that every time.
Okay, but I understand what you're saying. You have your foot soldier, pilot, whatever, Titan. Then you choose your burner cards also, or is that just something that we've seen?
That starts at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, the burn cards are there regardless. So
Yeah, they're there.
Well, that's what I meant. It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
its own section.
Yeah, pretty
always.
much.
And so that can the burner cards affect Titan performance?
Yes. Titans have special abilities that burn cards could enhance.
Okay.
It also cuts down on your build time. Okay.
Yeah, some
Certain
of
burn cards.
yeah, so
What's default Titan time? If I were to just sit there,
like 2.5 minutes.
2.5 minutes. You start killing people.
it's like a 7.5 minute, 10 minute.
Yeah, like say for instance, 2.5 minutes from the get go of the match. I think for every like AI grunt or spectre you kill, it's like 6 seconds off that time.
Okay.
So you can literally just run
And then
around.
player kill.
Player kill. I didn't see exactly how
30
many.
or 15, I can't remember. I
Yeah.
got him so fast she kept cutting down. Oh, I'm sorry.
Is there a multiplier? Like for each one, do you get more time cut off?
It's
for each kill?
from what I noticed, I think it's the same for each one.
Okay.
You can just do it so many times that
Regardless.
you can pretty much just get like
And so on top of that time cut down, you get points that go to your character,
Yes.
just like any other shooter
Yeah.
these days.
But to answer your question before you peace out, the thing that I would like them to add is when you kill a pilot, you can hear them for like 3 seconds. I want to hear them curse me out. That just works wonders.
Oh, like the player?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like if somebody you kill and he's just like motherfucker,
Oh, with the needler, you son of a bitch.
yeah,
like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
and then you get called the N-word after the match is over.
Or
Who would
while
say
you're
such a
recording
thing?
discussion.
Everybody.
So-
Who would say such a thing?
Yeah.
All right. Well, did you guys have anything that you wanted to talk about Titanfall? Let anybody know about?
Go pick it up.
Play it.
play it and go pick it up on launch.
Which
Absolutely.
is March 11th.
11th, yeah. All right.
You got what?
But, yeah, a while.
19 days.
All right, so somebody's here, so we're gonna go ahead and end that. Thank you guys for watching this special video edition of Thoughts On for Titanfall, and we will see you later.
Hear them for like